How are you? Welcome in. Thank you so much for joining me. I'm Deborah. This is Purusha Intuitive, and we are looking at the collective energy for the day for Tuesday, February 13th. Happy Tuesday. I hope that you're doing well today. I hope the week is going well for you so far. In the beginning, right? What I do love, which I will say right off the bat, is astrologically things are settling a little bit more. We're feeling less tension. Not that we've been through the end of it per se, like that we're at the finality of it. That's not specifically true, but I think I like the way the momentum is flowing. We're getting way more support today. Like I said, less tense aspects in the astrology, which just really helps us to integrate what we've learned, make better choices around what we want, what's coming in for us. There's this like little rumbling underneath the surface. Something big and exciting is coming in. And to remain vigilant or, just to set intention for a reading today, I like to start with an energy cleansing, clearing out the space, the things that don't serve us, anything that might be blocking what we need to see in order to make our best decisions moving forward. So as I always say, you can totally participate on your end. If you want to grab a smudge bundle, you can receive what I'm doing on mine or skip ahead. Yay. All right, let's set the tone. It's a great time, like I said, to set intention, ask a question, whatever messages you need to hear from spirit around whatever you're navigating through. This is a great time to do that as well. All right, let's get going. I bless you with pure love and light, pure source energy, pure love and grace. I release anything that is not for our highest and best. Any blocks, obstacles, things that we just don't need in our way. We don't need it. Help us to step into our power. Help us to believe in who we are. Open up the channels and doors for that. Amen. Okay, hello. Hello. So happy Tuesday. It's the day of Mars. So Mars is the masculine principle. It's also very action-oriented energy. And what I was reminded today around the principle of Mars is that value of desire. And we're in a period where we're moving, we're in Aquarius. Happy birthday. Side note to anybody who's celebrating this month. I hope there's lots of blessings, lots of wish fulfillment coming your way, and that you're just enjoying the sun being in your sign. It's such a vibrant energy. It really does help us exude those values that sign brings in. And I do really love Aquarian energy because it is hopeful. It is about being a revolutionary, fighting for the little person, whether that's yourself, whether that's an idea or a belief that you have. And it connects with that principle of desire, right? So desire is what helps us fuel those things into action. And we've been hesitant. There is this hesitancy in the astrology where we're not certain we can get it. Maybe we're not believing in ourselves. Maybe we have a lot of people around us who are poo-pooing whatever it is, or making us second guess who we are. But as I said, there's a little bit more reprieve today, and there's actually way more harmonious components in the astrology. So the rat, I can't say I'm super surprised. Before I started this reading, I was listening to another reader on YouTube, and there is still this underlying value of the rats coming out, people still getting mad, getting upset, focusing, fixating on what you're doing instead of just like minding their own business is what I'm hearing. A rat is about infestation, right? They can like squeeze themselves into like the tiniest little places. It's insane. if you've ever seen it. Oh, there's our fireflies. We got this yesterday. And really, it has been this principle of weeding out the BS, right? Weeding out those infestations in order so we can align more closely, more authentically with the desires of our heart. That thing or things that, like, you know, we had hoped for, we had longed for, maybe as a young child. Maybe we had certain aspirations in our youth or young adulthood, and it just didn't seem practical or it didn't make sense. But now, now is the time. No, I mean, it's cool because I think this is connected a lot back in the astrology to Pluto moving into Aquarius. Pluto is about death and rebirth. It's about being unafraid to see the shadow, the low vibey, the things that really are pulling us down, weighing us down, and being able to transform those, transmute and transform into something incredibly powerful in your life. And even though it hasn't been the easiest time, that's really where we're headed towards. And there's been these messages of faith in the process. Both the North Node and Chiron are in Aries. So we're healing ourselves. We're healing ourselves so we can give back to the world. Oftentimes we think that putting focus on ourselves is selfish or, you know, I mean, it can go that way for sure. Like, I'm not saying it can't, but it's like investing into who we are actually really does permeate and help the collective. So don't be afraid. It is a little bit of a snail's pace, you know, the slug, hey. But I feel like what I'm hearing with this is you're cultivating your power, your empowerment, right? And I feel like the trail, you know how they leave those like shiny, beautiful, glittery trails? Maybe it's a little gross because it's like some fluid, but you know, it always looks really pretty on the cement or, you know, wherever they're walking towards. And that's what I'm feeling in your energy, is that you're really building something that's magical. Something that's magical that you have set aside, that you didn't, maybe you didn't even fully think it through, is what I'm hearing. Like, maybe it was just a fantasy and then you put it on the back burner and it's like, well, that's not reality. That's never going to happen. And honestly, the more we think that way, the more we get confirmation of that in our outside environment. Ooh, the manta ray. These are actually really dope. And the manta ray is connected to the feminine principle. Obviously, they live in water, which is also another connection to the feminine principle. And being able to, I'm hearing this as like, in order to birth the masculine, right, that Mars energy, to make our desires happen, we need to be able to tap and tune into those more quiet moments, what our heart is saying and calling towards us. Sorry, that got a little jumbled, my bad. Yeah, I mean, I like this energy today. There still is some work around letting go and releasing some of the BS, but it doesn't feel comfortable with the sun square to Uranus. Uranus is ruled by Aquarius, and it is this element of rebellion, you know? And I always see it as like, I mean, not all the time, but a lot of the time, it is a little bit of an FU energy, because we need to have these strong boundaries for ourselves right now to believe in what we're birthing, what we're bringing in. And anyone that does not show up in alignment with that, we really have to question and evaluate, is it worth the time and energy that I'm spending around this person, this situation, consuming this content, whatever it may be for you. It's a heavier energy, and we want to feel safe and supported, which I think is normal, but it's like comfortable is maybe a better word. We don't want to feel like we have to do too much more hard work, because we've been doing that a lot lately. So we have the sun Leo energy in our environment around us. Clarity is coming through. I think this is clarity around the people, places, and things that have been a little bit more scandalous, right? the way that they have shown up in a very defensive and combative manner. People who wanted to, or a person who wanted to just like bring you down just because of their own fire energy, their own insecurities, their own inability to see things clearly. And essentially they turned their back to it. They wanted to believe in whatever lies they were telling themselves. And it does feel like in some ways you got the short end of the stick. And I think it's been a really hard value to work, you know, just a hard energy, a hard situation to move away from, because I feel like some of this was very unexpected. Let's see for us to, yeah, totally. So past energies, we're connecting a lot to the past. So whether you're having actual interaction with people from before, or this is even more just that energetic principle, you could be thinking about them a lot, feeling them a lot, really kind of reevaluating, deliberating on the situation. But it definitely feels like this energetic pull. Yeah, totally. These are people, places, and things that you were committed to in the past, whether this is family, community, people that were close to you, people that you were pursuing things with that you thought had the same values. And I feel like maybe, but there still is a disconnect, right? Because this person or situation really doesn't want to let you past. Like they don't want to let you into their circle. They don't want to give you too many accolades or validation. It's like they want to keep you small is what I'm hearing. I'm seeing that being pushed down by the thumbs, so to speak. But I think things are changing a little bit. For some of you, this could be someone new who's actually coming in and making an offer, really thinking about what their next steps are going to be. This is someone, you know, this is a completely different message, so I hope it doesn't get too confusing. But the other message I'm seeing is this is someone who does really want to commit, who actually wants to bring in those things for you, to you, that maybe you had hoped for and wanted in the past that you weren't getting with other people and places and things, the people that really weren't on the same page as you. You know, and we've kind of been seeing that energy. I mean, I obviously said something about that in the very beginning, right? Okay, but there's the Eight of Cups is black. So trouble of letting go of what was. Especially if this is someone that you know, they're having a really hard time getting over the dynamic, the he said, she said, the back and forth. And really all that stuff is incredibly ego-based. You know, Maharishi Mahesh talks about this value, which I really love. Look him up. He's pretty dope. That, you know, when we enter into situations where we think someone did something wrong, or, you know, we have a different perspective than them, etc., there's not a lot of value in fighting back and forth, trying to convince one way or the other. It feels good egoically because we want that validation. That's ultimately what we're seeking. But if someone has a different perspective, then, you know, and sometimes we just have to, actually all the time, it's really important just to say, well, what's mine? What do I need to take responsibility for? And everything else, leave it to the wayside. And then making your judgment accordingly from there. Do I really want this person? If they're going to say or do these things to me or whatever, is this really the value that I want to be around? And that's what's not coming through right now, is this Eight of Cups. There's still this energy of being on the fence, right? And whether that's coming from you or from them, it's playing out definitely in the energetic world, if not in your physical world today. But you're moving forward, you know, and this might feel like a long effing process. I hear you on that 100%. It's not fun to move slow. I mean, I like to move very fast, so if you can't tell. But, you know, this is how it is supposed to be. I mean, I do really feel like this is connected to whether you want to call it karma or the vertex point it's meant to be. This situation's coming to head regardless of whether we want it to or not, whether they want it to or not, etc. The truth, the clarity, it's all coming out. And you can't really prevent it. No one can, is what I want to say. It's not about controlling or lying or manipulating around a situation, wherever you fall on that side of the coin, whether you're the one doing it or it's being done to you. And we're struggling a little bit because it would be nice if some of these lessons would come a little bit easier. But I feel like Spirit really wants you to see things clearly, wants you to understand. Maybe there is some financial attachment involved, whether this is your family or work or people you share finances with, etc. More information is what I'm hearing. And that's the value of having this thing come to head, because I feel like, you know, going back to that principle of like, we all have our own hurts, feelings, perspective on a situation, what they did, what we did to them, etc. And we really have to give space and understanding for ourselves, but also for the other people as well. And I feel like we've been getting that message of mercy in our oracle cards. And it's really reminding us that sometimes we don't have all the pieces. Sometimes we don't see everything that's going on behind the scenes. And maybe there is a little bit of grace that needs to be extended. Giving grace doesn't mean that you have to continue to participate or play with these people or this situation. It's, if anything, Spirit saying like, okay, you've had your clarity, you've had your finality, now move on, right? And I think that a lot of this is stemming back to this theme we've been seeing coming up, that the more we stay plugged into the past, the things that didn't work out, the things that hurt us or shamed us, the longer we remain in that energy. And Spirit really wants us to get out, you know, to have some fun, to not isolate ourselves, to explore new people, places, and things that are in our environment or that we're interested in, right? Going back to, what do you desire? What are you passionate about? What do you want to see become enlivened in your life? Start pursuing things like that, right? You know, join a book club, you know, do a workshop, meet some people, sign up for something. A football team. I don't know why football. Oh, the Super Bowl. I didn't watch it though, guys. Wah, wah. Too many politics for me. No, I mean, I like the halftime shows and the commercials, as we all do, right? What popped up? Ooh, heroism. Okay, be the hero, right? Be the hero. This is, I'm hearing this as twofold. I hear that there was a lot of heroism in this dynamic, the right, wrong, the hierarchy, I'm better than you're better than me, that kind of BS. And that's not really even true. But I also see that Spirit saying, like, you see this for what it is, you see it clearly now. So like, take the higher road. Wah, wah. Sorry. It just makes us feel better when we do. That's like really the base of it. Yeah, like ego reactions, they feel good in the moment, but long term it's like, you know, not so fun. Okay. Not buying into the lies, not buying into the BS, recognizing the duality that is present, especially with this mythical duality, right? We do have to remember that all perspectives are different, and that can be a very difficult space to hold, especially when we feel like we were betrayed, done wrong, stabbed in the back, etc. But like I said, having a conversation that brings clarity around those things, it's not a bad thing. It actually helps us in the long run. But remember to still give yourself the power to make the choice of whether you want to re-engage or not. Because as we've seen, there's this other energy that's wanting to emerge. And I feel like this is something that is way more in alignment with the desires of your heart. And if we, you know, I mean, It hasn't manifested yet because I do think there is a little bit of cleanup from the past, and cleanup coming in the form of this conversation, having a little more clarity, detachment, energetic clearing, especially if you are not someone that you don't want to re-engage with that person or that situation, etc. Really do some cord cutting is what I'm hearing with that Ace of Swords. Call on Archangel Michael, look it up if you're not familiar. It's a really beautiful practice, and it helps us, just release the attachments that we form to people, places, and things. There is this element, of people wanting us to follow this certain protocol, but I'm also hearing there's value in our uniqueness and diversity. We just really have to make sure to find that line between not pushing the envelope too much. And I feel like maybe that's what some of this defensiveness is coming through about. Maybe they feel like you're not being fair to them, or you were acting in a certain way they're judging, or whatever it is, There's this call, whether it's coming from you or from them, to be a little bit more, in the box is what I'm hearing, like act right. So be really careful of who and what you're dealing with. Whether it is someone from the past coming back in to give clarity, reconnect, or they're just fixating on you right now and you can feel that energetic pull, or this is someone new. Anytime anyone new comes in, we want to make sure that we vet them, that we're listening to what our heart is saying. Does this feel like a safe space, or is this something that's more of a test? Is this something that I need to kind of check and double check in order to have that confidence that I'm making the right choices? So yeah, that's Tuesday. Happy Tuesday. I hope this reading helped. Let me know. I love hearing how it resonates in your life, what is going on for you. I love to give love and support, so definitely drop comments below. Thank you always for your time and energy. I really appreciate you. And I hope you have a fabulous Tuesday. Lots of love, lots of blessings always.